Hi everybody, this is Krista Jean here at NC Garden Helpers, and today I am over here in one of my beds. This is my tomato and cucumber bed. I also have some okra on the end. But what I'm going to do today is I'm going to do some companion plant gardening. So companion plant gardening is when you pair certain plants together to prevent insects from getting on a plant or to help plants get the nutrients they need from another plant by pairing them together. So since I have a tomato, cucumber, and okra garden, this is a perfect place for me to plant some dill. Dill is very good mixed with tomatoes and next to tomatoes because a lot of insects that like tomatoes don't like the smell of dill or the taste. I also have some basil because when you pair tomato and basil and cucumbers together, the basil actually gives a lot of the nutrients back to the cucumbers and tomatoes that you might need. So they're great for a companion plant when it comes to giving nutrients. I'm also going to put some oregano in, which is like a universal insect, no. So I like this around my plants as well. So I'm going to go ahead in this garden, and I have my tomato babies here. I've planted them in. I have my cucumbers on the trellis and my okra over here. I'm just going to find spots in between to add my basil, my dill, and my oregano. And they can be anywhere in there. They don't have to be really next to the plant because some of these grow small, like basil and oregano. They don't grow so high as the tomatoes. So it's great to be underneath. The tomatoes are going to help that basil, oregano, and dill to not get so much sun and burn and scorch up. So they're going to shade each other and kind of aid each other in their own growing process. So that's why it's called companion planting. So I'm going to go ahead and get them in. I'm going to space them in different parts. Some people like to, for every tomato plant, they'll put like a dill or oregano or basil and a tomato, but you don't have to put them next to each other. You can. I'm going to just space them out because I want to fill this garden in so that when it grows up, it's just this lush greenery of fruit and vegetables. So I'm going to get started. Follow along. I wanted to give you guys a close-up of this corner I have here. This corner, I have a tomato plant. There's a marigold. I have some okra right here and my cucumber trellis. I have some nasturtium over here. And so this is a great place for me to put a basil because I already have some herbs growing around this area, but I really need to protect these cucumbers because when that powdery mildew and those what are those stink bug larvae come in, they will tear your cucumbers up. So I like to really make sure I get some good protection over in this area. So I'm going to put a basil right here. Now, when you put in seedlings, I want to make sure you guys are watching. You want to dig the hole first, and then you want to put water down in the hole. The reason why you put the water down in the hole here is because, say, you're going to go and just put the basil in just like this. These roots still need to get wet. And even though you water on top of your garden, sometimes it doesn't get straight down in there, like new baby roots, moisture on them immediately. That way, the roots don't start to die. And it keeps it from being shocked as much. There's always going to be transplant shock, but we want to reduce it. And the way you do that is making sure you transplant correctly. So continue to follow along. All right, guys. So I am done putting in my oregano, my basil, my dill. Now that I'm done that, I have one more thing I like to add, and I add this plant in all of my garden beds, and I always add it at the very end, but it is a great companion plant, and that is your trusty onion. You got to go back in and just plant a couple onion bulbs, just scattered in between any space you can find for it. Now the thing about onion bulbs is as they grow, you got to dig around the top of their crown so that the actual bulb can get bigger. I'll show you more about how to do that with onions. But this one is already pretty big, so I'm not going to bury it deep. It's very shallow. That way I don't have to dig the crown till maybe a couple weeks from now. So there's one. I got some little red onions here as well. And they look like this. I'm just going to separate them, find some good bulbs, and start sticking them in. And once I get all these onions worked out, this bed will be done and ready for spring. Now, I just have 3 more beds I have to worry about. One is almost done. One is about to get revamped, get all its nutrients back in it. And one I have to build all together. So stay tuned. Thank you for following me at NC Garden Helpers. As always, this is Krista Jean. Happy gardening. Bye.